guess.
Yeah, good enough, I guess. I don't know why it's pulling out.
Okay. We'll just leave those on there. Looks good. Just don't step on them.
Yeah, they're definitely not steppable.
Welcome to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoatings. On this episode of Sam's Garage, Sam and Kevin Ford install a new steering wheel and grab handles in the Jeep Rock Crawler. Then Sam and Doug Harris remove the interior of the Alpha 1 GTO in preparation for reupholstery. Brothers Truck Parts is back to install their 3-point seatbelt kit in this classic Chevy truck. Then Sam continues the brake upgrade on a 67 Deville with a rear disc brake conversion. The Jeep is getting a new steering wheel and grab handles from Low Car Performance. When crawling over rocks, it's important to have a nice steering wheel to hang on to. And if things get real hairy, the grab handles will provide that extra bit of security.
Today we're going to be installing some accessories from Low Car Performance products, and it's going to incorporate some safety in our rock crawler as well. You've got these grab handles that you've taken from your dragster, correct?
Yeah, we originally had these made to pull yourself up out of a dragster.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're sitting pretty far down and there's not much to grab on, especially if you got the body coming up kind of high.
And with our steps being up near the body and this thing being 7 inches higher later, it's going to be very difficult to get in and out of the Jeep. So
Yeah.
we're going to need those grab handles.
You know, old guys like us, it's already tough, right?
Yeah.
So we might be able to reach this, but when it's up here, we're probably not. So
Not
we
at
can
all.
put these down low and give ourselves a little bit of leverage,
Yep.
something to hold on to.
Now tell us about this Lacora steering wheel. This is a 14-inch.
Yes, it's a 14-inch. It's one of our steel steering wheels,
Mm-hmm.
so it's a little more robust. It's got a European look. You name it, we've probably got it.
That's cool. Now that hub, you guys designed it to where you don't have to remove the clock spring.
Yeah, we've got hubs literally that fit Yugos. We have airbag hubs. We don't recommend you remove the airbag, but we understand in like this application, you don't want an airbag. And so it's clearance to go over all this stuff right there that would normally be in the way of our standard hub.
Absolutely.
And you retain your horn.
You retain your horning, you retain your blinker function.
That's right.
How many times have we installed steering wheels and forget we're riding for a mile and the blinker's going off?
Right, so a lot of people don't understand the mechanics of how it works, but you do have the horn plunger acts as the blinker cancellation.
That's very cool. That's a nice deal. Let's go ahead and start installing these.
So Sam, this steering wheel, like we were talking about, it doesn't have the countersunk holes. And I had a lot of countersunk hardware laying around.
Right.
And just for this mock-up, why waste really nice hardware?
Absolutely.
We'll probably come back and we offer different horn buttons. Some of them have a flange that covers the screws, and that's why we use the flatheads in a lot of cases. I think in this particular application, it would look really good with like some 12-point ARP bolts.
Absolutely. Anytime we're building a car and we're in the mock-up phase, there's going to be times where something may get damaged. And like this hub, it's not polished. We're going to be using a black hub.
Right.
But we're going to be using this for mock-up.
Yeah, and obviously I'm in the fortunate position to have access to those. So if you
Absolutely.
don't and you're buying a product from us or whatever,
Tape
just
it
tape
up.
it up.
That way, when the finished items go onto the finished vehicle, everything looks really nice and new. You know, it looks finished. That looks really good with the horn button on there, nice flush. It'll look good with the black flush bolts on there.
Yeah.
And the black hub. Kevin, these grab handles look really good. They look like they're going to be very functional, but they look good too.
Yeah, you know, it's a really simple product. Concept is simple, but it's so versatile. I mean, you know, we've got this up here at this angle. We can mount them straight at positive and negative angles. You can come up with any variety of uses for them. Sure.
And just look at these poison spider steps being way up here. Here it is about
Yeah.
waist level, and we're 7 inches lower than we're going to be. So we need all the room we can get to go up into the cab of the Jeep.
Right.
Then we have the people in the back seat. If you're in the back seat chilling, you want to get yourself out of the seat, you can grab this handle and pull yourself forward, because when you get older, you get lazy and you need all the strength you can get to get out of something or get up from somewhere. Yeah. This will work for when you're going through the trails, you can grab onto that. You can even put one right in the middle so that you can grab on with two hands.
You know, in coming back to the steering wheel, it seems like a simple product as well. It's a steering wheel, but there's a lot of variation in the hubs and the steering columns and the horn buttons. And we've got all those applications covered, whether it's a dual contact like for a Ford, single contact GM.
That's really nice to retain the airbag and the clock spring to give you an aftermarket look with the OEM function.
This is just one of the many things that we can do to the Jeep that just add that flair to it.
Absolutely. In the future, you never know, you may be able to even hang some lights on these brackets. More to come from Locar.
Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. Jay Stitch and the guys work on removing the interior from the Alpha 1 GTO. With the interior removed, it can be prepped for reupholstery. The refreshed interior will be a perfect complement to all the upgraded engine and suspension work on this project.
I got Jay Stitch back in the studio. Him and Doug are in the car mulling over exactly what they wanted to look and feel like. If you remember, Jay Stitch did our Hudson last season. He did an awesome job. I can't wait to see what he's got in store for this car.
Jay, it's great to be working back with you again. You did such a fabulous job on that Hudson Hornet. I can't wait till you come up with what you're going to do on this.
Yeah, my ideas are flowing as we sit in here. I cannot wait to get started on it.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to having it done and then taking it for a drive.
I can't wait for that. Seats, door panels I'm taking out. We're just going to basically break down the whole interior and take everything out. My first approach is to figure out the color and then get the design. And once I come up with a design, it's over with. But this car right here is going to be over the top. Everything will be leather.
Whenever you guys are taking apart the interior, we always want to just tear into it and rip it all out. What I like to do is bag everything, make sure all the screws go back into the same spot, especially on an import car, because you're working with a lot of metric hardware. And the stores usually have a lot of domestic standard hardware in stock, so it's not going to help you out. What we're doing now is we got the sills off, we got the seats out. We're basically getting ourselves access to get the carpet out. Then we're going to tackle the dash.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's an experience getting underneath that dash. You know, it was a lot of fun. Enjoyed it.
The next step is to come up with a design, go crazy with it this time. Crazy. So we're doing custom leather. It's going to be imported from Italy. It's going to be something nice.
Yeah, and looking at these colors, Jay, this one's really rich with the red stitch. Let's look at that red stitch again. Yeah, let's go grab the stitch. We'll have to wait till the car gets painted, but one of these two reds, well, nothing like an Italian leather while we're building an Italian car. Between these two here, we're looking for a real rich look, so it's going to really make everything pop.
All right, we are disassembled, we are cataloged, we have a direction what we want to do, and now Jay, I'm going to hand it off to you.
I'm gonna kill it.
I know you are.
Now back to more Sam's Garage. Dave from Brothers Truck Parts is back this episode to install their 3-point seatbelt in this 69 C10. Brothers Seatbelt Kits offers a variety of colors and sizes to meet the needs of any project. The kit comes with all the necessary hardware to complete the installation.
You know, Dave, C10s are very popular, been popular for a long time coming now. But what's gotten more popular every day is engine swaps on these old trucks, right?
Oh yeah.
So you got 350 plus horsepower in here. And as you guys can see, we've got a brake upgrade, we've got suspension going on here.
Right.
But a lot of things people forget is the safety inside the cab. You've got all this power and brakes and suspension, but
Right.
you got the same old lap belts.
Right. So it's only holding onto your lap. You slam into another car, you slam on your brakes, and you're going to go forward right into your steering wheel.
Absolutely. So we're going to do what by redeeming that
We're going to
safety
go
issue?
from a 2-point to a 3-point, and the third point is going to be above our shoulder. That's going to give us a strap across our chest, and we won't go careening into anything.
And that'll finish modernizing the vehicle. We got brake, suspension, and powertrain. We got to have safety to go along with it.
So this is what comes with your kit, your left and right seat belt. You have a left and right bracket that looks slightly different. I'll show you why in just a bit. And you have all these nuts and bolts that are going to be installing it. Now, it does not come with a bolt that is going to be here or the bolt that
We
is
want to
here.
reuse the factory ones.
Yeah, so if you don't have them, somebody took them out, didn't come with them, you'll need to get those. Well, the first thing that I want to point out is this little plug right here. The factory installed these and then put in this little plug, but gave you 2-point seat belts for whatever reason. So I like to use a little plastic spatula to take this out of there, because if you get the metal one on there, you're going to scratch it up. Now the reason our two brackets here look different is because one is for the left side, one is for the right side. This one for the right side, or the passenger side, is nice and simple. It is just going to simply bolt in there using this original bolt right here. Now I want you to notice the difference between these two bolts. This one here has a bit of a shank on it. You can see the threads do not go all the way down. They are for the connection in the middle right here. These that have thread all the way down will be for the end over here. Now don't go ahead and bolt it in just yet, because we're going to do a little bit of assembly before we do. Now let's see why this looks different on the left side. This guy, if you had a gas tank, you would not be able to install it like you did the left side, because the gas tank comes down so far. So this notch right here is to make room for the gas tank. And to install it properly, just put it down like this. Now you'll see that right here, I'm landing on my sill plate, so we know that is wrong. We take it like this, bolt it on like that. It's nice and clear. It's sitting up nice and straight. We know that's the correct way to do it. With my bracket assembled to my seat belt, now I can go ahead and install into the cab. So you have to watch out for any wires. There's typically a fuel gauge wire that runs through here, and you'll have to make sure you don't smash it underneath your bracket.
That is nice, Dave. I'm already feeling a little bit safer.
Definitely.
Even if you're not doing an engine swap, you're not doing any kind of a performance upgrade, I think these are an absolute must because of safety.
Yeah, this is the first thing I would do before I did anything else. Don't paint your truck, don't put wheels on it, get it safe.
Absolutely. Now, Tommy has a baby seat. He had his daughter in the car when he pulled up. You guys have the option for the center lap belt. Let's say you guys have a baby seat in the bench, you would use it. But if you had bucket seats,
You would need it, so that's why it doesn't come with a kit, right?
well, this is a very nice kit.
Welcome back to Sam's Garage, presented by NH Oil Undercoating. Sam gets ready to start the second half of the brake upgrade on a 67 Deville. This time around, the Caddy's getting a new rear disc brake conversion from OPGI. The new brakes will help ensure with all the power this sled makes, it'll still stop on a dime.
So this is equipped with a floating style axle. So all I gotta do is unbolt the 4 nuts that hold the backing plate in place. Then I'll use a slide hammer, pulling the axle out of my way, giving me full access to the brake and the backing plate so I can remove it as a unit. So what I did there was remove the brake emergency line that actuates it from the drum system, because these calipers have an external actuation. So this way we can transfer the cable and all of its system to the new calipers and we'll retain parking brakes. Now we have a clean canvas. This bracket is gonna go just like this, all right? That means we have to punch out these 3 studs. Leave that one be. Now in the kit, you're gonna have multiple brackets. Make sure you read the instructions because there's gonna be 4 of these shims. And if you look carefully, you can see that they're a different width, okay? So you're gonna have to use 1 on each side, left and right. If you double them up, you'll get too tight. If you double up the thin ones, you'll be too loose. So make sure you read the instructions. You're gonna get longer bolts, lock washers, flat washers, and nuts. Make sure you use them all in the proper fashion, okay? So we're gonna take 1 bolt, take our bracket. Bracket's gonna go like this. Go like this. Take our 2 spacers, put them in place. Take another bolt, flat washer on the bolt side. Put it through. Now this can bolt up right here. Okay. This is a spacer that's going to take place of the backing plate that we just removed from the vehicle. So this is very important. If you don't put this in, you're going to have axle leak. Now this is the time where if you have a bearing issue or your seal is leaking, take this down to the local drive shaft shop and have it rebuilt. All right, there we go. The rear brakes are all installed. I got good clearance. There's no noise when I turn the rotor. I got 11-inch rotors in the rears, 13 in the front, both cross-drilled and slotted. It's gonna be a lot of braking power. So if you guys are restoring a Buick, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, Chevy, or even a Cadillac, you might wanna check out OPGI for your restoration parts, but also they've got a whole bunch of performance parts for those applications as well. They've been supplying those parts for over 30 years, so OPGI has what you need.